Hello everyone, I'm Mariana Den Hollander and I'm a certified facilitator of the work of Byron Katie. Currently I travel the world sharing the work with people in workshops, in individual sessions, and I'm here to talk to you about the work. The work is a method or a technique of 4 questions and a turnaround. We use the work to question every single thought that causes pain or stress or sadness about our past, our childhood, our love relationships. It can be about the present or the future, fears. And by doing this, by questioning your thoughts, you start experiencing peace and liberty and get the answers you were looking for your whole life. When I found the work, I was going through a very deep depression. I had been bulimic for 7 years, and I had just admitted it to myself and to my family. So I was desperately seeking for a relief, a way to find happiness, to get healed from bulimia. As a coincidence, my neighbor invited me once to have dinner. She didn't know about my bulimia or my depression, and she told me about this method she had found called the work. So instead of going to the movies, we went to her house and we saw a video of Byron Katie doing the work with a man. Immediately I knew that this was something for me. I wanted to feel that relief fast. So in that moment I started seeking help from Byron Katie International. I got a partial scholarship to go to a weekend intensive, a workshop. And 4 hours of doing the work in that workshop, I was able to come to peace with bulimia. I even thanked bulimia for bringing me there, for bringing me to this workshop. I was living in Amsterdam back then. And 1 month after this workshop, there was going to be a school, the 9-day school of the work. And I got a scholarship to assist to the school, and I also had to get a loan, and I went. So in those 9 days, I learned how to do the work, how to really look at my life, look at my past, and find who I was without my story. And after the school, 3 months later, was the last episode I had of bulimia. And from then on, I just noticed that my life was a lot of stress-free. I was living the life I always dreamt of. Some months later, I also started writing down what I was finding out about my self-image, my body image, and I started finding all this peace with my body, with myself. So 2 years later, 2.5 years later, I published my book in Spain. It's in Spanish, and nowadays I travel the world sharing the work with other people. So the work has immensely transformed my life. Now it's my life now. It's how I live. It's my job, my passion. So it's definitely a big change. The workshops I give are called Peace in Your Mind 1 and 2. And when you come to a workshop with me, what I really try to do is share the work with you the most congruently as possible as Byron Katie does it in her events. So my goal is to share the work. My goal is that when you leave the workshop after 2 days, you really feel that you have a tool that you can use to find your own freedom. And we all work together in order to get what we came for in the workshop. I'm the one who shares this tool with you, and all the participants in the group share their experiences, and we're all learning from each other. So it's amazing to notice how another person's work is my work as well. Byron Katie always says, your work is my work. And in a workshop, you really get to see this. When I facilitate the work, the client is saying what I would say. He's doing the work for me. And when I'm answering the questions, I'm doing his work. So it's a beautiful experience. Many people often ask if there's a prerequisite to attend a workshop with me, and there isn't. To do the work, all you need is to want to know the truth. So if your background is very difficult, if you come from from childhood that is very painful for you, you can come to a workshop. If you're just someone who has a lot of stress about work, traffic, you can come to the workshop. There is no prerequisite to come to a workshop, and it's really important to remember that pain is pain. It doesn't matter if one person suffers more than the other. It's all equally important when you do the work. We're dealing with thoughts, so we get one thought, we question it with the 4 questions and the turnarounds, and we go to the next. The most amazing story, or the most impressive to me, that I've witnessed in a workshop was of a woman who decided to work the rape she suffered from her uncle when she was a little girl. So the first day of the workshop, people go home with the homework of doing the work by themselves. And she chose to do the work on "My uncle should not have raped me." As a facilitator, I was a little bit nervous that she was going to go home and do this by herself, so I offered her my phone number in case she would get stuck, or, I was a little bit worried. So the following day she comes, and everyone in the workshop was very eager to hear her story and her experience. And she comes looking amazing. She was shining. She sat down and she's like, "You know what? I was able to truly forgive my uncle. I realized that he was a sick person, that he was sick, and I was able to forgive him for that. He was sick. He didn't know what he was doing. Also, I thank him for raping me, because thanks to this rape, he didn't rape any other women in the family. He raped other cousins and some sisters of mine, and when he raped me, it stopped because I was able to tell my parents." So it was, she was thankful for that. And she also said that it was, that the rape had made her a woman that was always working with groups of women's rights, that it had made her a stronger woman and a woman that fought for other women's rights. So currently I'm traveling the world giving these workshops of the work to other people. I'm invited by others to come to their country, to their city, to share the work in workshops. And I've been in Spain, different cities of Spain: Cádiz, Madrid, Barcelona, Galicia. I was recently in Puebla and Cuernavaca in Mexico. I'm also giving workshops here in Costa Rica, in San Jose. I'm also being invited right now to go to Nicaragua, to Panama. So it all depends where I'm called, where people look me from, and there I go. I welcome you to come do the work with me in any of my workshops. If you want me to come to your country or to your city, just look at my website and we'll talk. I also welcome you to go to thework.com and look for more certified facilitators around the world. Maybe there's one in your city. So we welcome you to do the work.